I'm Angry Bob. I don't have a theme song, so let's just get into it. While at the current moment we have the National Guard cleaning up trash in the parks, I'd like to bring up two other entities that might also be within the DC area. Since this current administration long and take over different entities, one of those is Popo. Founded in 1792, agencies. What do? Protecting over 300 billion in the treasure stored in different US Mint facilities. They have guarded the US Constitution and the Holy Crown of Hungary. On occasion, they are Winter Olympics. Another entity you might see wandering around the DC area are the US Federal Reserve Popo. Much like how the US Mint Popo are in charge of the US Mint stuff, the US Federal Reserve Popo are part of the central banking system. Where does this Popo get their authority from? Well, the US Patriot Act. Something of note, Federal Reserve Popo are able to arrest without warrant for any federal felony or misdemeanor committed in their presence, or for federal felonies with probable cause anywhere within the US. So there's that. Each Federal Reserve Enforcement Office in the 12 regional districts is an independent enforcement unit, though governed loosely out of DC. And if you're curious, you can buy stuff from the United States Mint on their website, such as coins or metal. I used to be friends with a couple people that did the whole coin collecting thing, and they did make a decent amount of money from it. I don't care enough to get involved with it, but hey, to each their own. You may not hear much about these two entities in the news, but there are a few articles here and there. In this article from 2023, thieves made off with a portion of the cargo of $750,000 in dimes, a shipment weighing about 6 tons. The Philadelphia Inquirer reports that prosecutors contend that the theft, which they now say totaled $234,500 in stolen dimes, was part of a spree of robberies from tractor trailers passing through the region that also netted the thieves frozen crab legs, shrimp, meat, beer, and liquor. Apparently, one of their ideas was to take all these coins and cash them into coin machines so they weren't carrying around thousands and thousands of dimes. And yes, these officers are just as problematic as any other. One of the officers used the Mint security cameras to track the location of a nurse working in the facility and then attacked her. As you can see from above, not good. The medical exam room where this occurred was normally kept tidy, but afterward it looked like it had been hit by a tornado, court documents read. Court documents show that the nurse was then interviewed by 3 Treasury police supervisors who were all men, despite her wishes that a female supervisor be present. She told an investigator hired by her attorneys that she felt badgered and attacked. Several colleagues of the nurse were interviewed, who all told investigators that Gonzalez watched the nurse on the Mint security cameras, made inappropriate advances, and would follow her to her car numerous times. And in a surprise to no one, this was of course the first time he hasn't done something problematic. And in this article from 2024, she is seeking $2.5 million, additional damages, and a jury trial. Not to mention that the feds are no longer going to police risk as of June 2025. The Federal Reserve announced on Monday it was directing its supervisors to no longer consider reputational risk when examining, scrapping a metric that had been a focus of industry complaints. The Fed said in a statement that it was removing references to that risk in its supervisor and other documents, directing examiners to focus on specific financial risks. The Fed had defined reputational risk as the potential for negative publicity to hurt a bank's business and would lead to costly litigation. Basically, we're going to leave banks to determine this. The Fed clarified in its statement that it still expects banks to have robust risk management. It also said that the announcement does not preclude banks from considering reputational risk themselves when making decisions. I don't know if this current administration is going to usurp these particular forces and use them for whatever they have planned as well, but it's possible.